The Jewish revolt against the Romans and the fall of Jerusalem in 70 CE was a pivotal moment in ancient history. It reshaped not just Judea, but the entire ancient world. So if you've ever wondered what led up to this monumental event, how it unfolded and why it matters even today, keep watching. In the blistering summer of 70 CE, the fate of ancient Jerusalem was sealed. After a brutal siege, Roman legions under Titus stormed the sacred city. Titus ordered his men to fan out across the city and disarm any who resisted. With the priesthood gone and temple rituals halted, Judaism had to reinvent itself, influencing end-times narratives, messianic movements, and historical interpretations of divine punishment and redemption. Temple Judaism gave way to a global, adaptable religious civilization that would outlive the empire that destroyed it. Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this episode and want to see more, hit that subscribe button. Rome burned the temple, but not the soul of a people. In modern times, the state of Israel reclaimed Jerusalem as its capital in 19, and Jews once again gathered at the Western Wall. Yet the Temple Mount remains a deeply contested and sacred siteshed and disputed by Jews, Muslims, and Christians alike. In the coming decades, Rabbinic Judaism would emerge, centered on the Torah, synagogue worship, and ethical law rather than sacrificial rites. The Sanhedrin, or Jewish High Court, relocated. Scholars and teachers, later called rabbis, became the new religious authorities. This new structure allowed Judaism to survive outside its homeland and spread to places like Babylon, Alexandria, and Rome. The temple's loss was also commemorated annually on Tisha B'Av, a fast day that also recalls earlier tragedies in Jewish history. Those who surrendered were either freed or sold into slavery. The Roman general Titus then turned his attention to the Temple Mount. Contrary to popular belief, Titus did not intentionally order the burning of the temple. However, given the state of preservation of the city, he probably realized that it would be difficult to prevent looting. Despite this, he did order that the treasures inside the temple be collected and sent to Rome, where they were paraded in a triumph to celebrate the emperor and the Roman army's victory. Some say that a soldier accidentally dropped a burning torch and that's how the temple caught fire. Others believe that the fire was lit intentionally as an act of revenge. Either way, the fire consumed the Holy of Holies, and centuries of tradition, priesthood, and sacrifice were reduced to rubble. Thousands were slaughtered. Survivors were taken captive or sold into slavery. The temple treasures, including the golden menorah, were paraded in Rome in Titus's victory celebration, immortalized on the Arch of Titus, which still stands today. Only one remnant of the complex survived. A section of the outer retaining wall, now venerated as the Western Wall or Kotel, installed puppet kings and sometimes showed insensitivity towards Jewish customs. Corruption among local elites and Roman governors like Pontius Pilate stoked anger among a deeply devout population. So by the 60s CE, Judea had become a powder keg. Religious zealots, radical nationalists, and oppressed commoners were increasingly calling for independence from Rome. And in 66 CE, full-scale revolt erupted. The immediate spark was Rome's seizure of temple funds and brutal crackdowns on dissent. A coalition of Jewish factions took control of Jerusalem and other cities, defeating a Roman legion sent to suppress them. But Rome responded with force. Vespasian, a seasoned general, led a massive campaign to reconquer Judea. He captured Galilee and laid waste to rebel strongholds. But in 69 CE, when Vespasian was declared emperor in the chaos of Rome's civil war, he handed command to his son Titus, destroyed the Second Temple, and crushed the Jewish revolt that had shaken the heart of the empire. What unfolded was not just the fall of a city, but the collapse of an entire religious system and the beginning of a new chapter in Jewish identity, faith, and diaspora. After the death of Herod, the region was ruled by Rome. They tolerated other religions, but also imposed taxes. By this time, Jerusalem had become a city divided. Multiple Jewish faction zealots, Sicarii, and moderates were engaged in infighting. Even as the Roman army closed in, this internal conflict weakened the city's defenses and demoralized its inhabitants. And in April 70 CE, Titus began his siege with 4 legions, about 60,000 troops. As the Roman army arrived, they set up camp outside the city and began surrounding it. Surprised by the ferocity of the defenders, the Romans were unable to breach the walls immediately. For the next 4 months, the Roman army unsuccessfully attempted to scale the city walls. Meanwhile, those trapped inside grew weaker with each passing month as food supplies dwindled and sanitation became a nightmare. By July, multiple factions within the city were calling for surrender, but the most radical continued to resist. Finally, in August, after 63 days of siege, the Romans broke through the city walls. The destruction of the Second Temple had a profound impact on the Jewish people. It was not just a political disaster, but a spiritual earthquake. But the fall of Jerusalem also became a major symbol in Christian and Islamic theology. The fall of Jerusalem in 70 CE did not end the Jewish people. It transformed them. Out of destruction came resilience.